Hi, and welcome to another training video from XMPRO. Today we will be looking at how to use the templated list component. As a prerequisite, you should have already gone through the video on how to create and use data sources. If not, then I recommend doing that first. The templated list component can be found in the layout section of the blocks. To start with, you should assign a data source to the templated list. You do not need to assign any data bindings on the templated list itself, but you must bind any items inside the template that you wish to have the values. So for instance, this text item here, I will bind the text to name, and these other ones I'll set a static text as static text, and this third one I don't want it, so I'm going to just delete it. You can add anything inside of these templates, so any other controls, widgets, anything you would like, and they will show up one per each row, and this is how it looks in the renderer. So for each row, we've got the name, which was bound to this text component, and static text as the text component over here, and you can select each row as it is list. You can also enable search and assign a search by expression. So this one I will choose name. And if you enable grouping, then it will create a group template. And the group by expression will group the items by like values in this column. You can also allow collapsing and expand by default. So if I allow collapsing, that means that you can click on the group header and it will collapse or expand. And if you check expand by default, then they will all be expanded. And if you don't, then they will all be collapsed to start with. You also need to bind any items in the header. So this text, I'm going to bind it to group. You can't select any other item except for the group by expression. So if I save this and then launch, we've got some groups here, consultants and developers. And we also have the search. So that's in developer, David. Some other properties you can add to this is visible, disabled, tooltip, which are self-explanatory. Tooltip is when you hover. And you can also check select multiple, which will allow you to select multiple rows. There's also the action, so you can navigate to specific pages or URLs, and you can also update data sources. If you want more information on this, you can go to the specific videos on pages and navigation and updating data sources. So now if I hover over, you can see there's the hovered over text. And there's now a checkbox, so we can select multiple items here. This has been how to use the templated list component.